Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Night Talks Podcast. Welcome to the penultimate or the kind of like the final preseason game for Manchester United in this, in the summer series, right? Basically, everybody expects what to expect from the team, how the team performs, everything in between. But it's very important that we as Man United fans, still keep that positive energy and positive vibes going when it comes to preparation for the season. So we're gonna kind of go into details. Basically, this is the penultimate game for the preseason. We play against Everton, and the next game we play will be against Fiorentina. But the curtain comes down. The curtain comes down on the 2025 Premier League Summer Series this Sunday as Man United take on Everton at the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. United will be aiming to finish the tournament with a perfect record, having picked up 6 points from the first two matches. And Manchester United basically have done really well and shown some form of progress, as we can see, despite the fact that most Man United fans panicked when they first saw the team play and all of that. But yeah, United are also looking forward to avoiding Everton rather are also looking forward to avoiding finishing bottom of the table after back-to-back defeats. But for Ruben Amorim, this is a chance to end the US tour on a high, continue to shape this squad, for the new Premier League season. Seeing as we barely have a lot, to play for except for the League Cups, the League Cup, the FA Cup, that's domestic cups, and then the league, without any distractions from the Champions League or from Europe whatsoever. When it comes to form guide and momentum, Manchester United basically started preseason sluggishly with a goalless draw at Leeds in Sweden, Stockholm. Basically, everybody was panicking. Everybody was like, "Oh, with this team, with the way we're playing, we're going to finish 15th. We're going to finish 17th. Oh, relegation." People just tend to see any opportunity for us to panic and go down and all of that. Or Ruben Amorim has lost the plot and things like that. So, but it is what it is. We moved on to the US and basically we have looked sharper, and basically we beat West Ham 2-1 and then dismantled Bournemouth 4-1. They were even shocked, showing improved fluidity and attacking balance. But for Everton, in contrast, they basically have had a poor summer so far. After a 1-1 draw with Accrington and a 1-0 defeat with Blackburn, they've now lost both summer series, 3-0 to Bournemouth and 2-1 to West Ham. Now, the point is, they've played 4 games. We've played 3 games. Yeah, played 3 games. Leeds, West Ham, and Bournemouth. They've played 4, the 1 game ahead of us in preseason, but they've drawn 1 and lost 3 back-to-back defeats. So it is what it is. Basically, the confidence in the squad for Everton is low, and the Toffees are also basically in desperate need for a morale boost in their preparation for the new season. But with regards to head and basically the historical context of this thing, Manchester and Everton are both are two of English football's most historic clubs, but recent meetings have heavily favored Man United. The Red Devils have won 5 of the last 6 encounters in all competitions, including a 2-0 defeat, 2-0 win at Old Trafford and a 3-0 victory at Goodison Park last season. And I think that's the last game we played at Goodison Park because obviously Everton are moving to the new stadium, right? Now, for preseason games, it's pretty much less predictable, but the historical context basically leans towards Manchester United. Obviously, gives Man United a favor both in quality on paper and in confidence, basically. Now, with regards to just the tactical analysis and the approach that Everton might use under David Moyes. David Moyes has returned to basics, basically, as is seen over the years with the way he plays with Everton. With his squad, he's returned to line up in a compact 4-4-2, but historically, I mean, I've seen this in their last game and all of that. They tend to line up in a 3-4-3 formation. But it is what it is. We're going to break it down when we do their predicted lineup. Now, they focus mainly on defensive shape, physical duels, and also direct balls to the striker. However, their build-up play has been a lot slower and unpredictable, and they often rely on long passes from probably Pickford or Tarkowski if Tarkowski is playing, or Michael Keane, Mikalenko, or even Tim O'Brien, even O'Brien as well. However they play, they depend sometimes solely on long balls, direct play. And in transitions, they also lack creative spark with the likes of James Garner and Idrissa Gueye, or even Timmy Robingham, struggling to link up play effectively and efficiently. Now, with set pieces, it seems to remain their best hope of threatening, especially with all with the presence of tall players like Michael Keane, like Mikalenko, like the likes of Timmy Robingham, O'Brien, even Beto as well. So if they are present in the box, they are a threat. Now, with regards to the predicted lineup for Everton, we're gonna go with Jordan Pickford in net, and then Michael Keane, centre back. This is based on their last game. And then O'Brien on the right. We have Mikalenko on the left as a left centre back. Mikalenko is quite tall as well, and he's good as his left feet. He has a wonderful left foot. And then in the wing back spots, we have Patterson as right wing back. We have McNeil as the left wing back, and then Timmy Robingham and Idrissa Gueye as the two holding midfielders or 2 6s. And then Beto as a striker, and on the right of Beto we have Armstrong, and on the left of Beto we have Iliman Ndiaye. Now, Iliman Ndiaye is another player that I have watched and seen. He has skills, he has talent and all that, but he's always injury prone. He's their key player for this game and one player to watch for them. Last season he scored 9 goals, no assists at all, was injured, started 29 games, played 33 matches in total. And he did really well, 2,440 minutes last season for the 25-year-old Senegalese international. Seems very athletic, seems very skillful, one who likes to draw the ball. Last season in total, all competitions, he scored 11 goals after playing 37 games, no competition. So, like I said, he was injured for some of the games or most of the important games, but he scored very crucial goals for Everton. So, it is very key, basically that Man United takes note of that key player as, Iliman Ndiaye. Now, with regards to Man United's tactical approach under Ruben Amorim, we can see that Ruben Amorim has been stamping his authority, stamping his identity on this team, especially when it comes to his blend of possession-based football with high pressing. He's stuck with his preferred 3-4-3 shape. And I've seen some people, like I know Man United fans are waiting to see an opportunity to say that Ruben Amorim is basically changing his formation. But I've seen some people say some things. I've seen some people kind of like come up with ideas. I saw a picture floating around the internet talking about Ruben Amorim changing his formation to a 3-4-3. Like I'm thinking like to a 4-4-2. I'm like, how did he change his formation to 4-4-2? And Amorim says he never changes his way of play. And they're like, oh no, it's in defensive trap. Like even top content creators, like they're falling for this trap. Like somebody just looks for an opportunity to screenshot something, and then next thing everybody's talking. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You can see the other top analysts online that you can see that will tell you the real fact about Ruben Amorim's style of play and formation. In that picture, that's another conversation for another video, but we're going to talk about it. If you haven't, there's a video I've done on Ruben Amorim's style of play and what to expect. So we'll see that. You can see that on the channel. And also, I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and to those who have been commenting and hitting us on in our DMs and and commenting on our videos. I want to specifically thank you all, for what you're doing. You're helping us grow. We smashed 2 milestones in the last couple of days, and we're about to smash a 3rd one. And I really, we're 45 subscribers from that, and I really appreciate you all for that. I don't take it for granted. I don't take the comments the likes, the shares, the subscriptions. I don't take them for granted at all. Thank you so much. We're building a solid community, a strong community, and I see your comments from Eddie and the likes. I don't want to mention names because we're going to run out of names, but it is what it is. I see all those comments, I reply, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. But moving on to Ruben Amorim's style of play and all of that, basically, Ruben Amorim utilizes more of the wing backs aggressively, and you can see that with the way Patrick Chinazekwe Dogu plays, and rotating the midfielders with Ugarte, with Mount, with Bruno, with Casemiro, with Menu, to dictate the tempo of the game, especially with Menu and Bruno. They seem to be these kind of players that would dictate the tempo of the game. Now, the attacking midfield trio of Cunha, of Bruno, of Mount, and Mbeumo, they have shown versatility, but Mbeumo hasn't played, so we haven't seen him do something in the squad. With Cunha, he's set to return, and Brian Mbeumo is poised for a debut, and we expect quick interchanges for Man United. Overloads down the flanks, and also more creativity from the wide zones, especially with wing backs like Dogu trying to get the opportunity to score. And if Dogu is like that, then that means Dalo has a lot of work to do, despite the fact that he's quite experienced in the squad and he's seeing what is going on. Now the press is also becoming more coordinated, and there is a coordinated sense of transitions in the style of play, and we have been sharper and we've been growing and evolving game by game. So basically, if we're to go with a predicted lineup for Manchester United, I would say that Man United will line up like this: by Altabander in net, Matheus Cunha as the centre back. Altabander in net because he played 90 minutes against West Ham. Then Tom Heaton played 90 minutes against Bournemouth. Now Altabander has the opportunity to potentially play 90 minutes against Everton or whatever, however Ruben Amorim intends to split it. Matheus Cunha centre back, Lenny Yoro right centre back, Aiden Heaven left centre back. We might see a different thing, maybe Shaw, but I think because Shaw started that one, Heaven starts this one, so it is what it is. And then for De Ligt, I think basically he starts this one ahead of Maguire, who eventually come into the lineup. And then for Euro, it's not a problem. He played, I think, the most part of 70 minutes last game, and will potentially come on and play another 70 minutes and be sharp and be ready while Tyler Fredrickson prepares to come in place of Euro or whoever. I would love to even see even Rhys Monroe, the young defender, coming in this one. But it is what it is. Especially in the second half, right? And then for in the midfield, we have Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte. And I see that Ruben Amorim has tried a combination of Menu and Ugarte, and that has worked perfectly. He's tried a combination of Bruno and Casemiro, and we're exposed a little bit. But now he's going to try, I expect that, or I predict that he's going to try the combination of Bruno and Manuel Ugarte. And then we have, obviously, Dogu, and then Ahmad starts this one ahead of Dalo, and then we can see what happens there. With Dogu on the left, we potentially see him improve his game and take it up to the next level. And then, obviously, Matheus Cunha, and then I predict that Mbeumo starts this one. We see what the transition play and the style of play and all that, because he's been working on his fitness. So I see that he starts this one. And then we can also expect that Højlund starts this one. There's a striker conundrum in Man United, and I think he's going to start ahead of Chido Obi, but there's a striker conundrum, as I said, and we're potentially looking to sign Benjamin Šeško, but that's another noise for another video, but it is what it is. So basically this is the lineup that I expect that Man United will start with, and then we can now talk about key strategies for how Ruben Amorim will defeat. No, key players. Let's work with key players first. Let's work on key players to watch for this game. One key players to watch for Man United in this game will be Ahmad. Ahmad is a key player that we can always watch. His ball control in the last game, his transition, the way he moved the ball, the way he stuck to his feet, the goal he got and everything, find himself in the right position. Ahmad is going to be a key player to watch, not just in this game, but also in preseason. He's an interesting player that we can watch. And then we can expect to create goals, create chances, create assists, and all of that. If he plays as a wing back or he plays as a 10, whatever the case, Ahmad is a man that we can watch. Another player that we can actually watch in this one, I expect to watch in this one, is Matheus Cunha. Matheus Cunha is another player we can watch. He has good um, ball carrying, ball control, and everything, and he has the opportunity to break the lines of Everton, especially when they become more compact. He was rested in the Bournemouth game, but when Everton becomes more compact, Cunha has the opportunity to thrive and break through the lines and all of that. So that's another key player to watch. You know, he sat out the Bournemouth game, as I said, but his return will offer some directness, some dribbling threat, and then he also thrives in one-on-one scenarios and is likely to target Everton's slower centre backs. And Cunha's work rate off the ball is also what fits perfectly into Ruben Amorim's pressing game. And then obviously you could tell another key player we're going to be watching that most people tend to not like is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is United's captain and has been very instrumental throughout preseason. He has 2 goals already, pulling the strings from midfield, and his passing range as well, his movement between the lines, and his ability to lead the press are crucial for Amorim's structure, and we expect him to get plenty of the ball against a deep Everton block. So that is one player we are going to pay attention to, and that is Bruno Fernandes. Then the next thing we're going to move to is how Manchester United can beat Everton. What strategies can Man United employ to beat Everton? The first one is that we're going to exploit the wide spaces. And that depends on if Dalot starts, but obviously I put Ahmad, so that will depend on Ahmad and Dogu, right? Ahmad and Dogu pushing up high against Everton's narrow midfield will be very key in, when they play their long ball, we can bypass their press and all of that. And that the centre backs are key to this. Also, we need to use Bruno's positioning to, basically overload central zones and stretch Everton's compact lines. And then we need to also allow for Matheus Cunha, who are going to see wear the red shirt for the first time on the field, to actually be able to drive the ball and create opportunities for strikers like Højlund. And if Chidobe comes in as well, I've seen Chidobe and Cunha work. Chidobe needs to learn a whole lot. I know he's young, he's 17, but there's some certain decisions when you play with mature players, you learn as you go, but it is what it is. I'm not the coach. But yeah, we need to use Bruno's positioning. We also need to keep the tempo high, quick passing sequences, while playing that, and with the overloads, it will destabilize Everton's block. So let's look at that. David Moyes is a king of low blocks. It's like the Sean Dyche of football, right? But it is what it is. Now, what we expect Everton to do would be to sit deep, deny United's central channels and to stay compact without the ball, but also target United's wing backs on the flank with Patterson and McNeil, with their pace and all of that. The runs and the balls over the top will also be key, especially Iliman Ndiaye, who is good with one-on-one situations as well. So they might also want to make the most of set pieces because they have top players like Michael Keane, like Timmy Robonam, like O'Brien, like Mikalenko as well, who's good with crossing the ball and also good in the air. And then most importantly, Beto, and they are good with second ball. So it's very key that we take note of that. With Michael Keane and obviously Tarkowski if he plays, because their aerial threat is dominant, right? So that is what we expect from Everton, right? But what is my prediction for this game? My prediction will potentially be, I want us to give them a commanding 3-0 win. No more conceding goals. We considered against West Ham, we considered against Bournemouth, and those are goals that they scored through the channels. Doesn't matter who makes the mistake. The fact that they scored the goal through the channels is very important for us to note and for us to block, so that we can keep a clean sheet at least once. In this tour, we played 3 games. We've kept 1 clean sheet, and we've considered 2 goals, right? But we need to score more. We need to actually score more goals and also defend very well, especially with our defenders, seeing as we're stacked up in defense, especially in the center back areas. So yeah. Now to sum this whole thing up, United will enter this clash as overwhelming favorites, both on form and depth and also on paper. Amorim's project is gathering some pace, and a 3rd consecutive win would cap off the perfect US tour while continuing to basically embed tactical principles ahead of the new season. Now, Everton, on the other hand, will want, to avoid a fourth consecutive defeat, right? And this is without Brantwaite, and they also lack, attacking cohesion. Basically, they'll struggle to contain a confident United side. So, like I said, my prediction is 3-0. What is your prediction? Let me know in the comment section. Also, what do you expect? How do you expect Man United to play? What also are your predicted lineups? Let's have that conversation about what predicted lineup should look like and how Man United should approach the game and all of that. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. For those who have been commenting, those who have been following us, through and through, even on all our social media platforms. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You've made this worth a while. You've made us to build a very solid community, and we've been able to, evolve together. So thank you, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed, please do like, share, subscribe, so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think? How do you think this game is going to pan out? And what do you think Manchester United is going to do? Obviously, we're definitely going to win the Premier League series, but we don't need to get giddy about it, right? It is what it is. So we just need a draw to win this to win the series. But this is a preseason series, so let's not get carried away and just focus on the main goal of achieving a solid, very cohesive, very important, very aggressive team, to approach the Premier League and contend for trophies next season, or this coming season. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. As I said, once again, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.